this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. So guys, today I'm going to talk about one very interesting and very important topic, that how to generate the live reporting dashboard. Not exactly the complete dashboard I'm going to create, but I can show you that how can you generate a live report. Because the problem with the TestNG or other automation tools or JUnit, that when you generate the report, you can only generate once the entire execution is done. But I wanted, okay, let's see, my execution is going on for next 3 hours. But for every minute, I want to check that, okay, what is the execution in the form of HTML report or something. So we need some kind of live reporting kind of concept over here. Okay, so that's why like I thought of creating it. And we will be using MongoDB. So technology stack will be Selenium WebDriver with Java. We will store the data with the help of TestNG into MongoDB. So we will be using MongoDB APIs. And then on top of that, once the data is available inside the MongoDB, that we will fetch the data, and with the help of Express.js and the Node.js, and we will display on the UI. So the technology stack will be like this, that the design will be like this, that we will be writing a script over here in Selenium WebDriver with Java, and we will be using a couple of things. So let's see, we will be using TestNG. So I'll be writing TestNG, then we will be using WebDriver with Java, and we will be using some TestNG listeners also. Listeners are very important so that we can pick whatever the test cases that you are writing, what is the current status. For every test, I'll just pick the data. And once this is done, what I'm going to do, that I'm going to store the data into database. So what kind of database? It will be a MongoDB I'll be storing. So this is my MongoDB, I would say MDB. And in this particular MongoDB, the data will be stored over here in the form of different documents. So this is document number 1, document number 2, like that. And now the data is available. Then what I'm going to do, that I'm going to write one Express.js APIs. I'll be using the Express.js framework I'll be using. So I'll be using Express.js. I don't know, you guys have heard about it. I've already prepared one video on this. Express.js, with the help of Node, we will be using that. So I'll be using the Node, and whatever the data is coming from here, we will fetch the data over here, and we will display the data, fetch the data with the help of this particular utility that we will be creating, and we will display the data on the browser so that you can refresh it. The moment you refresh the data over here, and the current report will be displayed in the form of tabular format or web table format, like that. So this is the idea behind this, right? So this you can apply in your framework as well. You can use that tomorrow. If you really want to use JUnit or something, you can do that. You have to write one listener. If you really want to use Cucumber, you can use Cucumber also, or if you really want to use any other JavaScript framework also, you can do that. I'll be showing in the form of TestNG. Okay, so this is the design. Now let's see how can we do that. So what I'm going to do, that this is the Maven project. If you remember the last video I've already prepared, I quickly show you that people who are watching this particular video or MongoDB first time. So I have added MongoDB Java driver library. Selenium I'm using it, and I'm using WebDriver Manager. Okay, I'm not using any plugin right now, so that you can add it later. Then I'll be creating one SRC test Java. I'll be creating one package over here. So let's see, my package name is com.qa. Let's see, MongoDB. Okay, .live test, live report, something like this. So this is the package. Under this particular package, I'm going to create a class. Let's see, I'm going to verify couple of things. Let's see, for Amazon.com, or you can pick any application. So I'm going to pick only one single application. I want to verify multiple things. Okay, let's see, different links, search application, title of the page, URL of the page. So multiple test cases I'll be writing, because we need some heavy test cases. Heavy means number of test cases, so that we can see that test cases are executing and we are getting the result one by one on the basis of their pass or failure result, right? So I'll be creating, let's see, one Amazon app test.java class, and this will be my TestNG class. So I have already written a few test cases, and that is already with me. So I'm going to do, without wasting a time, I'm just copy paste those test cases. So let me just quickly do that, because we know how to write a test cases in Selenium, that I don't want to spend time on that thing. And then I'll show you what kind of test cases, let's see, I have written along with different assertions. So let me import all the things over here. Now see, inside the setup method, I'm using a browser, let's see, as a Chrome. You can use some other browser also if you really want to use that. And I'm simply using Chrome driver, implicitly wait. I'm using Amazon.in, or let's say I'm using Amazon.com or whatever. And I'm going to verify a couple of things. First of all, that what is the title? So title, first of all, let's see, the title of the page is Amazon.in I'm writing. Well, let's go with .com. Okay, so on, well, let's see, I'll do with .in. So when I go with .in, so the title of the page, let me quickly view page source. So Control F, title. So this is the title of the page. I'll just quickly pick. This is the title I want to verify. So instead of this, I'll be writing this particular title. So don't judge why I'm using hard-coded values and all those things. I'm not using page object model and not, okay. Those things you can do it later. Things will remain same over there. Now, what I'm going to do that this is Amazon test career I have written, where I'm going to check that, okay, careers link is available, is displayed on the page. Then about us displayed on the page. Okay, so all these are the footer links. You can see it over here. You can see that these are the footer links. I'll show you about us, careers, and all those things. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. These links are available or not. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And I'm using one Amazon search test also. So when I search for laptop, so let's say I'm going to search for laptop over here, and when you search for it, it should display laptop over here. So that's why I'm just searching and then submitting the search bar and then getting the text and comparing the laptop is displayed there or not, right? So every test having one assertion, and once everything is done, simple driver.quit, and or you can use a driver.test also, or you can use before method or before test also if you really want to do that. I deliberately using before math so that I want that for every test the browser is getting open so that I'll have some time to check the report, to check the live report. That is the only intention. Otherwise you can use before test also. A very simple test that I have written. Okay, these are the test cases that I have written. Now what I have to do, I have to create one listener, right guys? So what I'm going to do that I'm going to create, let's see, in the same package I'm going to create a separate class. And let's see, this is my MongoDB listener, MongoDB test listener I'm going to create. And listener property, we know that, okay, listener will be applied on any test when you execute it, and listener will always be running in the background. It means whenever you are executing your test cases, it will be running in the background. It will keep checking that what are the different results that you are getting for every test case, and it can be used for the to customize the report and to customize the TestNG report also, like that. So we will take the listener data for a different execution, and then we will pick that particular data and store inside the MongoDB. So we know that, okay, I'm going to implement this particular listener with we know that I've already created this particular listener. So that listener also I really wanted to show. Okay, I'll just copy paste this particular listener from here to here. First of all, that we have to use iTest listener over here. So we have to implement iTest listener, and we know that MongoDB listener is my class which is implementing this. So we have to override, or we have to implement all the methods. So let me just implement all the add unimplemented methods. So simple add it. Now we will see that, okay, in the listener we are getting on test start, on test success, on test failure, what exactly you want to do. So the listener code I have already written. Let me just show you 1 second, guys. So what I'm going to do that I'm going to show you that particular listener entry over here. So this is the listener I've already added. So see, I'm just going to copy paste this particular listener because otherwise this video length will be too much. So I'll do one thing, I'll replace these method with my listeners. Now see, very simple. Let me import all these things from the MongoDB util package. Let me just copy the import. Okay, so the imports are done. There are no errors. Perfect. Now see carefully. This is the MongoDB test listener that I have created, implementing iTest listener. With this listener is the interface which is coming from TestNG, which will allow me to implement all the methods after success, after test start, or after test failure, on test escaped, on test failure, and on test start and on finish. Also, you can do that. So what I want, the moment you start your execution, please make the connection with the MongoDB, and MongoDB, which is already running on my system. Okay, in the previous video, I have already shown you that how to start your MongoDB. So MongoDB localhost 27017. What kind of data I want to create? So let's see, this is my custom DB that I want to create, and what kind of collection that you have. So this is a collection. So the custom DB, either you can create by your own, and then you can use this particular collection, and inside this particular collection, all the documents inside the MongoDB will be created and the data will be created over here. So let's see now. We'll go to this on test success method. Once the method is successful, I'm using the itest result attribute, object reference, where what exactly it will do, it will get the method at the runtime. So whenever, let's say, there is a particular test is getting passed, it will come over here and immediately I'll get the method name and I'll check what is the class name. So I'm storing the method name and the class name. I'm creating one document over here to store the data into MongoDB. And I'm passing appending like this: method name, class name, and the status over here. So obviously status will be passed, whatever the method name and the class name, like that. And once this is done, I'll be preparing this particular doc list, and inside this particular doc list, I'll add this particular document and add this particular doc list to the collection that you have created, web collection. And the web collection is already pointing to this particular live collection object. Okay, so very simple code. Same thing, whenever there is a test failure, I'm making a status as fail over here. That's it. And inserting the data with failure data. So I'll be creating 3 columns in my report. One is method name, class name, and the failure. If you really want to fetch some more information, let's see the description, let's see the failure message, the assertion log messages, all those things you just need to store inside a string and keep appending and keep adding in this particular list and keep adding in your collection over here. That's it. So I'm just, for the POC point of view, I'm just picking these 3 attributes right now. Once this is done, I have to apply this particular MongoDB listener, whatever the listener that I have created. I have to apply this particular MongoDB listener to my class. So how to do that? So whatever test class that you have written, so either you can create one testng.xml file. There also you can add your listener entry. And I'll be creating this particular listener with the @listener over here. This is important, then only the listener will be applied. Okay guys, if you really want to use your testng.xml, there also you can add your listener tag over there and you can create one entry for this particular listener. But I don't want to create testng.xml. I'm just simply applying listeners, and this is my class name .class. So listener is applied on this, on this particular test. Now looks good. And how many tests we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 test cases that we have. And this is a title test. I'll say Amazon title test. Let's give a proper name, Amazon title test. Okay, now when we run it, make sure that that your MongoDB server is running. Okay, so I'll go to my terminal and you can see that my MongoDB server is already running. So I can first of all exit from here. I'll start my server once again, clear the console, and simple write Mongo. You have to go to Mongo shell. How to go to Mongo shell and all those things I have already explained in the previous videos. Guys, go and please check it over there. And MongoDB is running over here on this particular server, right? So there are 2 use cases. First, we have to insert the data into MongoDB with the help of listeners, with the help of MongoDB WebDriver API, driver APIs. And the second part is the later part, that we have to fetch the data. We have to read the data from MongoDB server so that we can display on the UI. That we will do with the Node.js or Express.js. Okay, so let's first dump the data into the database. So for doing this, we are into this. So let me check how many DBs are there. First of all, show DBs. Okay, so AutoDB and all those things are available. So what we can do is we can use one more DB. Let's see, this is my use automation DB. I can use this. And I can check what is a DB. So automation DB is already created, and I'll be using the same automation DB over here, right? So this is automation DB, and I want that, live is my collection name. Okay, so automatically this particular collection will be created, and inside this particular collection, all these documents will be created, guys. Right? So right now we don't have anything. This is a blank database. Okay, but when we run our code, during the execution, we can see the result over here. So let's run it and let's see. So let's run this particular Amazon app test.java. So right click on it, run as test ng, and let's see what is happening. Okay, so I'm running in the headless mode. You can see that I've already passed the headless browser over here. So let it run and we will see the data is coming or not. So yeah, we can see that execution is happening over here, and we can fetch the data now. So to fetch the data, we can use this pretty format, db.live.find.pretty, and you can see that data is available over here, and you can see all the test cases are getting passed, right guys? And you can compare, see 7 test cases are there, 7 got passed, and the same data is available in my MongoDB also. So you can see that Amazon test about us got passed, career got passed, Facebook got passed, Instagram got passed, Twitter, Amazon title test, and Amazon search test got passed. Everything is getting passed. Awesome. Now, let me drop the data once again. So I'll simply write live dot drop. So data got dropped. Again, you check the, right now we don't have any data now. So again, I'm going to execute it, right guys? And let's run it again. And we can see the live reporting over here in the console also. If you don't want to create any web UI, okay, see the test number 1, test number 2, test number 3, still test number 3. Now we are getting 4 objects in the JSON. Now 5 objects in the JSON. Now 6 objects in the JSON. Now the 7 objects in the JSON. You can see that, and then you can see that all the test cases are absolutely working fine. It means this is a live report. We are seeing that. Although these test cases are very quick and fast, right? And if you really want to get the count, you can simply write find.count method, and you can check. It should give you 7. 7 test cases are available over here. So it means the data dumping part is absolutely working fine over here. Now what I'm going to do that I'm going to read this particular data over here, right? So before that, let's check one more thing. I deliberately make some test cases failure, right? So let's see, instead of this, title should not be matched. So I simply write 1 1. Instead of career, I'll be writing 1 1. About us 1 1. So 3 test cases should be failed out of 7. So let's drop the data and let's run it again. So right now you can see that count is 0 once again because we have dropped the data, and find pretty also 0. So let me clear the screen and let's run it again. Now obviously for career 1 1, these are the web elements, and we have applied implicitly wait of 20 seconds. So it's gonna wait for 20 seconds so we can see the report directly now. Okay, so it will take some time to dump the data before making it failure. Then only the data will be dumped into the database, and then only we can check it over here. So now let's see the failure analysis also. So let's run it again and let's see. So now you can see that, okay, you can see the result over here. Here also does not show any result. We will see the data over here. We don't have any data. Keep checking it. Let's see, I'm refreshing the page just like a web page. I'm keep hitting the query in the form of commands. No data. Still no data. See, no data. Now the data started coming about us because alphabetic order it will execute, right? So it got failed. Now we got the data again because we have now the second test, whatever the test is getting executed, second will be failed because of implicitly wait of 20 seconds we have applied. This is still getting okay running. So every time we are getting 1, and once the second test case is done, now it's showing 3 test cases immediately after that, after a few seconds. So let's wait for 5 or 10 more seconds, and then we will see the result once again. Okay, so let's run it again. Now we can see all the results, and let's do the final result. So this is the final result, guys. We are getting it. I can show you. See, 1, 2, and 3 failure. Let's see how many failures are there. 3 failures and 7 pass. Sorry, 7 total, 3 failure. And you can see the result over here that 1 about us, career, and title test should be failed. You can see the same thing over here. About us, career, and title test is failed. So absolutely working fine. So my data is perfectly okay inserted into the database without any issue. Now the second part will start. It means we have to read the data from the database. So this is the data insertion part is done. The data got inserted. Now we have to fetch the data from the database with the help of Express.js plus Node we will be using, and we will publish one report, one HTML report. I'm not great in HTML, guys. I mean, in terms of web designing, I know basics of Express.js and basics of JavaScript. So I'll be writing some code. Okay, I've already written this particular code. I'll just show you, and let's see. So for writing the Express.js code, I need Visual Studio Code. So I'll be preferring Visual Studio Editor. We will be using that. So this is I've already written. Take it over here. So I'm going to create one. Okay, let's open a new window. Okay, and here I have to go to this and open the folder. So in my documents, I'm going to create one folder over here. So right click on it, or let's say new, create a new folder. And let's see, this is my MongoDB live report is my project name and click on create and just open it. So when you open it, a blank project got created over here. Close this particular welcome screen. Now this is the MongoDB live report project. This in the terminal, I'll go to terminal and you can see that, okay, MongoDB live report over here and few commands that we have to execute. Okay, so I'll show you those commands I've already written over here. So yeah, so first thing is that you have to initialize the npm package. So let's do that. Okay, npm initialize this. So this is important so that it will create the package.json and everything. And once it is done, then we have to install one package that is called npm install save express MongoDB. So let's copy this and install this particular package over here. Okay, so it will create package.json. So we are using the dependency as MongoDB. Okay, as a dependency we can use it. Okay, this express and the MongoDB. Perfect. After that, what we have to do that yeah, we have to create one file index.js. So let's create index.js, touch index.js, and you can see that index.js got created. And I'll show you one dummy code where how exactly Express.js is picking the data from this file and displaying on the UI. So this is a sample code is there, so you can use this. Let's see, I'll simply run it and save it. Hello world, and then example app testing on this. So let's see. Okay, and after that you have to execute node index.js. So let's run it. Localhost 3000 port number. So let's go to localhost 3000 port number. So let's run it again. I think it's working now. So this is the thing. This is a simple code I have written, and you would need to start this index.js. You have to initialize with node, and it's saying, yeah, listening to 3000 port number. So what you just need to do, you just open a new, let's see, new window and go to localhost 3000. Can you see that hello world is coming? It means whatever data that you are passing this hello world, which is coming over here. Now we will same thing through some script. We will read the data from the MongoDB and it will display the data over here. So for that also I have already written the code, and I'll just show you. This is already here because I really don't want to spend time on this. Somewhere over here, yeah. Okay, so copy this particular script. I'll share this particular script with you and I'll explain you. It's very simple. Let me just remove this one and paste it over here. So what I have done that, first of all, you have to give the URL where exactly the MongoDB URL. It's running on localhost 27017 custom DB. And what is your DB name? So we have to change the DB name. So let me just, my DB name is, what is my DB name? So I'll be writing show DB. Okay, the exact DB name we have to give. So our DB name is automation DB, and we will be writing, this is my automation DB. And what is your collection name? My collection name is live only, that we have already given. So this is the collection, db.live is the collection name. Okay. So once after that, I've created one function over here that is, which is a kind of a get call, which will fetch the data, and I'm passing the DB URL and passing the DB name, creating the DB object over here, and making the connection with the collection name, getting the collection object, and then I'm using find, converting into to array, and using the promise. I'm using one to-dos variable over here, which will behave like an array variable, and you can see that this is an array variable, and then you can customize it accordingly that I want, okay, my test automation live report, okay, or let's see, my test automation live report. This will be the heading of my report, and automation report will be the title of the page. And then I want 3 columns. Let's see, method name, class name, and the status. These 3 columns I want, and then I'm fetching the data, and this is fetching the data. So from, okay, this is another variable promise, I'm using it, and with the help of this particular promise variable, to-do.method name, to-do.class name, I'm fetching the data from the MongoDB. So 3 things: method name, class name, and the status. I'm fetching it. If you see, that is the same thing. We have method name, class name, and the status we have, right guys? So 3 columns I'll be using it. So these are the 3 attributes. We can ignore ID, and once this is done, I'll be sending to the output, and output will be your HTML web table, and then display it. And once it is done, simple, close the connection, and that's it. Okay, so let's run it and let's see what happens. So let me just close it. First, let's see the data is coming or not. So let's run this index.js once again. It's listening to this particular port, and we will go to our report and let's refresh it. Localhost 3000. Okay, it's not showing it. Let's run it again. Okay, it's still showing from the cache. Okay, we have to save this particular file. Let me run it again. So cancel it, run it again. Okay, now let's refresh the page once again. Can you see that data? Awesome, right? Oops, that's really good. So method name is this. This is my class name, and the data is coming fail, pass, like that, right? Now, the thing is, I'm going to execute my test once again, and we will analyze this particular data, right? So let me delete this particular data, okay, from the MongoDB. So let's drop the data once again. I hope you guys are getting it, guys. Please, you watch that video once again. It's pretty simple. So let me go to Mongo and let me drop this particular data. Now the data is not available. So here also data should be gone. After some time, it will be gone. Okay, so let me just Control C, run it again, and let's refresh it. Oh, we are using the different. Let me just go to the different DB. So show DBs, and we have to go to automation DB actually. So use automation DB, right? And we will be using. We have the data over here. We'll drop it. See, the data is gone now, right? So now the data is refreshed in my database, and now the data is deleted from the database. Now I'm going to execute this particular code once again, and we will see the data is coming on the live report or not. So let me do one thing. Let me run my Express.js server once again. Now the server got started on port number 3000. You can check it. Data is not here. Okay. Now let's see the magic. Let's run it. Let it run. I don't want to check this particular console. We will just keep refreshing the data over here. Refreshing the page over here. So let's refresh it once again and let's see what happens. I hope the data should come over here, because my couple of test cases initially will be failed. And once the first failure is there, should be displayed over here. So let's keep refreshing it. Can you see that? I got my first failure over here, and test cases are still running. So we can see the live report over here, guys. See, let's, after a few seconds, again, we will refresh and we will come and check the refresh, keep refreshing it. So once the data is available inside the MongoDB after the execution, see the second test is also called failed. See, deliberately I'm making it fail so that we can see the live report over here. And you can see that career and about us both got failed. And let's execute the third one. See, the Facebook got passed, Instagram, Twitter, and Amazon title test got failed. And I think almost done. Everything is done now. Awesome. Right. So this is what I really wanted to show you, that you can see the live report, right? Now let's, you can quickly make them pass immediately. So let's remove this career one, this, and online one also, let's remove it. Okay, let's dump the data once again, drop it. We don't have any data right now. And you refresh this particular page, data is gone. So moment you can write a script to dump the data also, that's not an issue. Now it will be very quick. So the moment you refresh, see, data is coming like that. So you can see the result. You don't need to wait for the entire execution, guys. This is the magic. This is the thing that you have to do that. Now see, everything is getting passed. You just keep refreshing this page and get the data at the runtime. And all the 7 test cases are absolutely working fine without any problem. Perfect. And you can customize the report. If you really want to add some more columns, you can do that. Okay, it's not a big deal. You just need to go to your Visual Studio and then add some more attributes over here, like that method name. You can get the class name, you can get the status. I'm just fetching 3 things. Same thing, we are getting these 3 things in the console also. What you just need to do in the listener, you can get some more information about about the failure, about the status, about the description, about the priority of the test case, from which class it is coming, what is the package name, everything you can fetch it and you can append it over here. I'm just fetching method name and the class name to show you guys class real name, like that. Okay, so this is something we can do that, and once everything is done, automatically MongoDB client from your Java class, it will be disconnected like that, and then we are good to go, right? So let's do one last thing, that we will add some more quick test cases over here so that we can see some more proper result. Okay, so instead of Twitter, I'll be going to, okay, and I'll be using, let's see, sell on Amazon. This is another link I want to verify. So let's see, sell on Amazon, and this is okay. So I quickly write, this is my sell on Amazon test, right? And I'll be adding one more test. So I want more test cases so that we can, see the result properly. So let's say become or fulfillment by Amazon, okay. So we have these number of test cases, guys, that we have written, and let's see, okay. And I'm making some of the test cases getting failed. This is 1-1. Deliberately I'm making them fail. Sell on Amazon 1-1. So out of these 9 test cases, I think 2 test cases should be failed. Okay, total 9 test cases we have. So let's run it again. Before that, let me dump that. Okay, sorry, drop the data, and the data is dropped. And let's run it again, right? And see, I'm not going to check it over here. You can directly go and then come over here, refresh it. 2 test cases are got passed. Perfect. Amazon app test. In fact, you can write one more column over here at how much time it took. So you can get your start millisecond and end millisecond, get the difference and get in this particular column value. Okay, so third one is taking time because we have given 20 seconds of implicitly wait. So we have to wait until the timeout is coming. See, oh nice. See, so we are getting the live report, guys. This is the live report. So nice, right? So we can customize the report later on with more columns, with more information. The matter is that we are getting the live report. We don't need to wait for 4 hours to see the final report. So we can quickly see. Advantage is that we can see this, okay, yeah, this is getting failed. The moment it is getting failed, we can take an immediate action if we are getting the live report, right? Otherwise, earlier we have to wait for the entire day, or overnight in the morning we have to see the result. So now you can see that, see, all the test cases are absolutely coming over here like that. So this is the advantage of automation live report, guys. So please use it, utilize this particular utility. I'll be publishing this particular code to my GitHub repository, and this Visual Studio code also I'll be putting over there with the same name, index.js. I'll be creating a separate project over here. So 2 projects you will be finding in my repository. One is for the this is for the MongoDB listener side, the test case side, and another one is fetching the data from the database. Okay, so just do it, use it, and showcase as a POC in your company, and then start implementing it. That's it. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching this particular video. And please, if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon so that in the next video you will be getting a notification for that. I'll be coming up with some really interesting video in future as well, with a lot of interesting integration with automation. You will be getting it. So thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Thank you.